So today we're going to do a really awesome sunset for a mate of mine, my best mate Dave. So hope he enjoys it. We're set up here. It's going to have clouds coming down here. There's actually going to be a motorbike here, massive motorbike. It's a 750R, something like that. But short answer, it's going to be kind of tilted away, so you see the back end of it with the tailpipes and that sort of stuff. And there'll be a path that leads kind of in here, like that. So the sunrise will come down about here, or sunset will come to about here, and then the motorbike will be about there. Okay. So we'll start.
We just took a little break to add little details.
Don't need that.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just have to. I want to try and get some light into it again because it's getting a bit dark. And that section there, beautiful ray of light that's coming through, and it's going to reflect onto this section and that section. And technically, we want to keep a little bit of a line between it, but just shaking a bit. You remind me of. Okay, so you're just softening it now, using the white just to soften it back before all the colours dry. It's very important. I normally use, I can spray light into it. Okay, so I'm going to try and get a bit of blue into it now. At the top of the painting needs to be blue because it has to contrast with those orangey kind of red tones. Not too much though. This is a tricky bit because you don't want to get too light. People think, oh yeah, the sky is actually quite light. Well, actually it's not, it's dark. But I want to get some interesting light points into it, sort of just there, just random points.
It's more of a beautiful dark than a majestic bright.
Yeah, you got it. So where the light hits up, it'll push through the clouds at certain points. That greeny grey, greeny grey colour, that's actually not a bad basis for this blue because it gives it something to work with, so it shoots through. I want to keep some of the pink. That's actually quite nice. That works, I think. Just the top of it. Don't want to get too keen with this blue. You can kill off all the shapes you've created. So that, for example, that would. I'll have to go over that again. That's not right. But it's almost like a scuffing method that you're using. We'll play with that later. Let me get some blue into that corner. Alright, that'll do. I'll come back to that. Okay then.
Welcome back to the Climax artwork, and you can tell he's done quite a lot.
So just going to get some little details.
You're like Bob Ross. There are no accidents. There are only happy accidents. There are only happy accidents.
I like getting paint on your jacket. Careful. Sorry. No, he's alright. He's fine.
Yeah, I didn't get any on it.
You came close. So,
Far too close.
this is the detail. See how we're putting lots of little lines in there? And then what we actually do then is we actually just get some white. Not much. Everything's very delicate at this stage.
Very delicate.
We just go straight across like the lines, just to give the impression that the clouds are just covering the sun. And they'd be glistening on the top, but sort of shadowing underneath, so just want to be very careful. But then the rays of light, they're just sort of just pushing through. So you're just pushing through. So the trick to get that is just to, from the angle there, just slightly like that, not too much. And some of them are under the razor light, some of them are over the razor light. You never really can tell. But anyway, it's on the road now. See the road? So it leads in. So the motorbike, see the motorbike? Something like that. That angle, I like that picture. I just got it off the internet. But the thing is, that's the angle I want of the motorbike going into the distance. But I've got to kind of do this first.
So kind of like that way.
Yeah, well the wheel will be about here somewhere. And then the front wheel will be here, so they're kind of angled. A bit like that. Pretty similar to that actually. I just found that one. I think that's pretty cool. So I'm going to reflect this pink. I've used this beautiful. Well, I made it up myself. It's actually a mix of naphtha crimson and a mid yellow and a bit of white and a bit of this Matisse orange. But it doesn't really matter. It's just a bit
Is this the
playful now.
Is this the?
Yeah, that's it there. I made it up.
Let's go close up.
It's a beautiful colour.
It's like a peach.
Yeah, it's like a peachy kind of colour. Exactly. So, and then this here, these are all the little grasses on the side of the road.
All the weeds.
Yeah. Well, weeds. Yeah, I guess I call them weeds. I was going to get a really thin mix of brush, paint on the brush just to...
Here's the water. And
But see, where it bends over, where the grass bends over like that, I wanted to really get the idea that the grass is kind of curling and probably dead a little bit too. In fact, I might put some ochre into it.
how about you put some shadows behind the plants?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or maybe I will.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will.
Let's do that then. That's a good idea, Maxie. So what we'll do is we'll put a bit of black, not much.
Bit of black.
I don't want to wreck my beautiful colour. I'll put it over here somewhere. Okay, so if we now where the grass bends, it kind of bends and it falls back onto itself like that. So those bits would actually be in the shade or the shadow. I like the way it's kind of coming together. It looks like it's kind of going down a hill. See how it's sort of going down a hill? So it looks like this is almost like a platform, the road, the platform. But yeah, it's cool. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to get a bit of white, not much white.
Again, here's the white.
You've been a great photographer there, Maxie.
Thank you.
Now what I do need though is some ochre. Oh, I have some ochre. It's yellow. Hang on, I've got to get some ochre. You just video that for a sec. I'll be back with some ochre.
Okay. I am now the star of the show. There we go. I think I took a photo of that.
I couldn't find any ochre, but raw sienna I'll have to do. So we'll just do a bit of raw sienna. That's that colour there, see? And if you mix it with white and this earthy kind of grey colour that I've previously made up, a bit of white.
Looks kind of like an Oreo mix with vanilla ice cream.
Do you think that's what it is?
Well, that's what it looks like to me, because there's tiny little pieces of black in there, and it has that kind of ripple effect usually that. Well, you guys post it in the comments. What do you think that looks like?
This is just a little bit of a finishing touch now, just on the grasses. Just on the tops of the grasses, not even on the whole grass. See, because the light would hit just on that point there. Yeah, and then maybe let's just say, for the sake of exercise, this grass is in flower. So it's got Because you get grasses, they're sort of, they've got these little kind of points to them. There we go. Now what we'll do is we'll get just a bit of yellow, not much. Bit of yellow.
Just a happy amount of yellow.
A happy amount, that's right. Good call. A happy amount of yellow. There we go.
Now it really pops.
It does, doesn't it?
Seriously, I think you're Bob Ross when you paint, Dad.
Oh, Bob Ross is cool. He's a legend.
Yeah. Probably because he was so chill.
Yeah, well, he is chill, that's true.
Well, he was chill because...
Okay, so if I just get tiny little touches of light there. Just using the very tip of the brush.
I'm trying to... Yeah?
So you don't even use the brush. You don't actually use the brush itself at all. You use just the tip.
I'll go on the side. As you can see, he's using the tip of the brush.
So that's nice because the light's hitting here. And there might be just a little bit of just on the tips there of the grass and things. Give the impression of some sort of bushes or some kind. There.
Some weeds.
You can see this glisten on the road here. See the glisten?
He just did that like 2 minutes ago. Well, 8 minutes ago. Because this video has been going on for 8 minutes. Well, this segment of this video.
Thank you, Maxie. Alright, so now we're going to bring the eye in just a smidgen. This is where it makes or breaks it. This is the road that everyone goes, oh wow, look at the bike going down the road. So we've got to get a dead straight line here, where that light hits there, on the right on that point of that road. That's it.
Caitlin, may you please not? Thank you.
Okay.
If you can see that.
And then the light would hit here, and see how there'd be a line under here, so then it would hit here again. It would have to hit here again, so we'll just go like that. And that's kind of it. It's almost ready for the motorbike. You know what I'm going to do?
It's almost ready for this motorbike.
Well, something. So I've got to get the actual motorbike. I've got to go and get some photos of it. But that's okay, I can do that. That's
Wait, don't you have photos on this iPhone?
Yeah, but they're not the right angle.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's alright. We'll do that.
So when are we going to call Dave over?
Well, I think he wants to see it as a surprise. This painting. So, hang on a second, I'm just going to hit this hill here with the tiniest bit of light along that edge there. And then I'm going to blend it in almost straight away. It looks like the light's hitting those points. Nice. And there might even be, it might even be like a little road that kind of goes down there like that. So you can imagine the road kind of, maybe the road goes up the hill.
Like a two-way?
Into the distance. Do you think the road would go in the distance, or do you think it'd go there?
Go through the hill and the over the hill.
We'll give him a choice, eh? He can either go up the hill or he can go down the hill. So all roads lead to Rome, so to speak. Okay, thank you, videoer. I appreciate your assistance.
Can I show myself?
Of course you can.
If you know my channel, it's the Maximus Clements. And just doing a quick shout out. Dad, can you give me a quick shout out?
Well, this is the Maximus Clements. He's been doing his videos since he was about 3.
Hey, no, it was about 9 or something. No, 8.
Okay.
So, I'm not that, I wasn't that young.
Right.
But I did like making these kind of videos. Like, Dad, can I make a video of you? So, yeah, that's my channel. The Max in those comments. I do stop motions and Minecraft. Cheerio.
So you can only imagine now the motorbike in that picture. It's going to really bring it together. It needs a focus, but I think the motorbike's really going to make it come together. I like the sun, and then as you kind of look up into the distance, it's got that depth of field is what's called when you do the sky and it looks deeper. Yeah, that looks nice, I like that. And yeah, ready for, let's call it stage 2. Okay, so you can sort of see the angles of the tyre. They're going across ways like that. And I'm going to get every one of these little pieces of tread in so then I can detail it. And then what I'm going to do, so I'm then going to draw very carefully the line of the tyre. Now I can see on the photo there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines in perspective. The main line being here. So I'm going to start with that. Okay, so it's about there somewhere. So then if we then detail it, got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one will end up there. And that's going to be in perspective. And then what I'm going to do is join those dots up, and it should have a pattern which kind of resembles this. So then I'll put light in, and it should be good. Okay. Okay, so here we are back again, and now we're doing a little bit of detail here, just in relation to the handlebars and the front end assembly. And here we are here. So what I'm just going to do now, I'm just going to see there's a bit of detail in that. I'm just going to show how to show those handlebars correctly. The light's hitting from this point, so it's going to be in shadow. We've got to get that angle to show the curve. So we're just going to show the little hand grips there. Is that coming up all right there? Can you see that? Okay, now what we're going to do, get a tiny bit of white, not very much, and just pinpoint right on that top there, where it comes along here. Okay, showing a bit of detail there in that handlebar. I'm going to basically then blend it, but if we look at the other one here as well, it's exactly the same thing. But we've got to get the angle right because the angle's that way. So there we go, handlebar's done. It's coming together now. Thank you, stay tuned.